This week, I'm using my rarest and most favorite card to destroy my opponents. Only 10 of these exist, so it's a true treat when it hits the field. Welcome to another epic tournament breakdown where I throw down in my trading card game, Elestrals, against the community in our weekly casual events. This week, we've got 3 key objectives that we're looking to hit. The first one is I want to ascend from my Funglow into a Larva Cell. I'll explain how that works soon, but it's a turbo strategy that gets me into that Phosphocell. The next objective is to turbo into that Phosphocell and deal massive amounts of damage to my opponent. Phosphocell is one of those strongest forces in the game when it works, but it can be kind of tricky to make it happen. And lastly, I want to swarm the field with my Thunder Mushrooms, utilizing Funglow, Thunderstorm, and Bronzaglow to spread wide and go hard on my opponent's Spirit deck. I play in casual nights every single Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and we've been hitting records for the most players every single week. It's free, laid back, and you can even bring a starter deck if that's all you got. So make sure you guys join this Tuesday coming up at 7:30 Eastern Time. Head to our Discord server at discord.gg/Elestrals and throw down, and maybe we'll get a game against each other. Kicking off our deck profile, we've got 3 Larva Cells. This is the key to the strategy, as when Larva Cell gets a Solar and a Thunder Spirit on it, it can turbo into Anacell. We only need 1 Anacell. This, again, its main purpose is just to go straight into Phosphocell. This is the fastest turbo ascension line of the game, where you can go Larva Cell to Phosphocell in 1 turn. I'm running a single solar charge. This serves as a piece to go with my Larva Cell to be able to get a solar spirit on it. But the real key here is Phosphocell. This is my stellar X of 10 Phosphocell. I actually pulled this myself. It is my favorite card in my collection and my favorite card that I've ever pulled in my own trading card game. And it's very strong. When it hits the field, you can load it up with spirits, you can destroy runes, and you can swing for big damage. Very cool card, easy to get out, and deals a lot when you actually get it onto the field. The strategy that I'm pairing this with is the Thunder Mushrooms. I've got Funglows here. This little guy says that when you cast Thunderstorm, you can special cast out a Bronzaglow. Bronzaglow can deal massive amounts of damage and put the opponent off guard, so it's a 2-card combo that'll be able to, again, turbo to the field. We're going to be utilizing those Thunderstorms here as well. These destroy runes, which are very nice for Phosphocell. It allows you to clear the back row to be able to turbo into Phosphocell and, of course, put pressure on with your Bronzaglows. I've also got the Supercells here, our Stadium Rune. This further plays into our Funglow strategy and allows us a little bit more sustainability by healing. So we've got some really good options there. And I just realized I've actually got 2 different Supercell arts. I don't know how that happened, but that's kind of funny. Then I've got my Bronzaglows here. These are really epic. These are very strong. They special themselves out to the field with Funglow and Thunderstorm, and they allow you to burn your opponents and swarm, deal massive damage. Unlike many, I actually run 2 Funglow charged here. These are the special ones from Kissimmee, by the way. Love these little guys. The reason why I run these is because if I play Thunderstorm or Supercell, these can be special cast out to the field with the Thunder Spirit, and then I can ascend them with my Larva Cell, allowing me to get a Solar and a Thunder Spirit on them right away. Not to mention, these serve as just great turbo ascensions. They can deal massive damage if I'm able to get the Bronzaglow onto the field, and I think a lot of people kind of overlook these cards. I think they're actually quite good, so we run 2 of those. Then we've got our 3 Titanostrikes. These are really key. 4/4 body, searches out Thunderstorms. Very good. We want to run those. I'm also running the original Titanostrike. I'm not sold that this is totally necessary, but I really like this card. When you play Thunderstorm, you can destroy an Elestral, so it's very good. 3 Astrabbits, very, very good stuff here. This obviously allows you to get to the top of your deck, grab some really powerful cards. I've got Arcolith just because he's such a powerful Elestral, can heal back spirits, allow me to deal massive amounts of damage as well. And then I'm running a single Boombat. I think Boombat's a really good card right now. I think a lot of people are overlooking it. I run a single tech one. It's really nice with Astrabbit. You can find it pretty easily. You do a good amount of deck thinning in this deck too. So that's our Elestral lineup. Pretty straightforward there. I want to make note that I'm actually playing on the newest ban list for this event. Some of my opponents were not, which is fine, but obviously the new ban list takes into effect for the upcoming casuals, so things will be on an even playing field. 3 Guardian of Light. This is a really powerful rune that can stop attacks and heal. You just got to get those solar spirits to the underworld quickly. We got some shields to stop attacks. We've got Gorgon's Gaze, of course. We've got Poison Tipped Arrows. We've got a single Pandora's Box and 2 Ambrosias, because again, I am on the new ban list. So a lot of healing, a lot of ability to stop my opponent, and then a lot of swarm potential with big burst damage. We're running a lot of Zaptors, and I think I've got just 6 Luminapes in here. The key is you want to get 2 of them to the underworld quickly. you need 1 for your Larva Cell, you need 1 for your, or 2 for your Anacell, and then you need 1 for your Phosphocell, basically, to re-enchant it, and you can utilize your Guardian of Lights to be able to heal those back. You just really want to get 1 or 2 to the Underworld early in the game, so you can use Solar Charge and you can use Guardian of Light to the maximum effectiveness. All right, let's kick this tournament off. In round 1, we face off against Owen, GG, or Cerebro. OG Elestrals players will know Cerebro because they were one of the earliest people to win a tournament back in the day with Elestrals like 2 years ago. I'm going to be able to get my Titanostrike out, get my Thunderstorm, feeling good there, but he starts with Aeolus, which normally would have a pretty bad matchup against me. However, he's able to get it moving really quickly and finds his Winjin. Worth noting, again, ban list stuff, Tornigin's banned, but he's using it. It's all good. He was totally legal to use the list he was. I decided to play the new ban list, but it ends up biting me on this one for sure. His Winjin hits right away, gets his Tornigin out, he gets his effect, adds P-Gust to hand, and my back row is already in trouble. He's able to steamroll over my Titanostrike. I'm staring down a massive Tornigin right away. I get my aDrive out. I'm able to start to get some really good cards, build towards my strategy. This is a combo deck, so I really want to make sure I can get all the pieces that I need, but he's going to disrupt that so fast with that P-Gust, and then he's going to be able to Tower of the Winds P-Gust to pop both of my back row, and then ascend into Sorlet, which just happens to have the effect that can change the position of my defensive aDrive and run it over. I have 1 chance to come back in this. I say, you know what? I'm going to cast my Larva Cell. I'm going to misenchant my Supercell with a Solar Spirit so I can Nexus to myself to turbo into Phosphocell. But he lands a Gorgon's Gaze, and I'm going to be honest, this one was over so fast. I can't be too upset about it. I was able to try my strategy, but this one was doomed from the start. He was able to get all the pieces he needed, and he's a great player. So we're going to move into round 2. We're down a game, but I think we can make a comeback. Round 2 is against Mega Boys, which just so happens to be Jackal's son. For those who watched our last week, we ended up taking on Jackals, and he beat me with his Waspivy deck. So I know I'm in for a challenge here. His son is a very polished player. Having played under his father, he's a protege. There's no doubt this is going to be a good one, but I want my vengeance for sure. He's going to lead with Ursicle and find his Ursa Den, but I think he makes a mistake by casting it early. That gives me the opportunity to go with my Thunderstorm Supercell, clear his Ursa Den, and ultimately get my Titanostrike out. Titanostrike is such a powerful card in the early game. He responds with Lavalith, the perfect play. Again, he's on the old ban list. I'm on the new one. Not a big deal. I go Gorgon's Gaze and stop his Lavalith in its tracks. I'm then able to go into my Fun Glow. This is the strategy that we want. I'm going to ascend into my Larva Cell, being able to get both a Thunder and Solar Spirit on it right away. It's turbo time. Our first objective of the tournament is completed. I then climb into my Anacell with my effect, and then finally Phosphocell. Objective number 2 is complete. We have turboed into Phosphocell, and now it's time for us to deal some massive damage. He attempts a comeback by getting out an Ursmog and an Urseer. The bears are coming. I know I just have to be really careful of don't poke the bear, but I'm able to land my Funglow and then a Thunderstorm into Bronzaglow. I've got 4 Elestrals on the field. I have swarmed this board in such a crazy way. Phosphocell, Bronzaglow, Funglows. I mean, we are killing it in this one, and there's simply no coming back from that. We complete all 3 objectives in our second match of the day. Absolutely bonkers. I'm pretty stoked about that. You really can't beat that kind of a game. GG's. I want my vengeance on your dad now. I'm coming for you, Jackals. Heading into round 3, we're taking on Dr. Barber, which is a rematch from a few weeks ago. He's a store regional winner with his Gambit playmat. I love how you can tell how good someone is by their playmat because you can only get these by winning your store regionals. He's going to start off with his Plucky and find his Apollo, and then he's going to grab Corvishine through First Light, and I know I'm in trouble. If I don't make some moves quickly, he's going to be able to dig so deep into his deck, it's going to be very difficult for me to deal with it. I want to point out a card I noticed in his Fortell, Breeze of Zephyros. This means that I have to be very careful about the attacks I make, as he can Nexus and boost the attack stat of his Elestrals. I set 3 back row. I have no Elestrals that I can play, so I'm forced to expend to draw. This opens the door for him to get his Corvishine out, and now he's able to get those long Fortells. I have to do something really quick. I'm able to cast out a Titanostrike, but I don't have the Thunderstorm to use, and I'm like, man, I need to stall a turn to get my Thunderstorm, otherwise I'm in big trouble. He continues to swarm the field, getting a Nebuleo out, and then a Soul Bell out, and slamming down a Lyre of Apollo. I am staring down 4 Elestrals, and I am struggling to do a whole lot of anything. Fortunately, I have some back row, and that's going to be what's going to need to keep me in on this one. I go for Shield of Achilles to bounce the Soul Bell back to hand, That's a weird play, but I needed to get rid of the Lyre of Apollo. I'm gonna Gorgon's Gaze the Nebuleo to stop his attack and keep my Titanic Strike alive. I just need a Thunderstorm, but on my next turn, I have no choice. I have to hard ascend into my Bronzaglow. You never want to do this. Bronzaglow is a great card when you can special cast it out with Thunderstorm. If you're normal ascending into Bronzaglow, things are not going as well as you would like, but it's my only chance because I need to get rid of that Corvishine, so I'm going to be able to do just that with my Bronzaglow. He, however, responds with an insane play, ascending into his Lustragon. This is a card that is absolutely devastating with its Nexus effect being able to destroy the cards on my field. Fortunately for me, I have quite a bit of back row, so I'm going to go for the Poison-Tipped Arrow, meaning I can get rid of the Lustragon at the end of the turn, and I've got a Gorgon's Gaze face down to prevent that attack and that Nexus destruction. My back row is saving me. The Nebuleo charges forward to go for a big hit onto my Bronzaglow, but I have Gorgon's Gaze once again. Talk about big plays. Gorgon's Gaze shuts down the Nebuleo, suppressing its ability and forcing him to crash. My Poison-Tipped Arrow in the end phase clears his Lustragon, and somehow, some way, he goes from 4 Elestrals on the field 2 turns ago to now having none. I cast out my Astrabbit into attack position. I gain even more resources. We trade back and forth a bit, but my Boombat's gonna hit the field and seal the deal as the Hard Ascend Bronzaglow actually wins this one. The deck did not work as intended at all. In fact, I bricked super hard, but making that bold play in the early part of the game to ascend into Bronzaglow and just start attacking saved me. I didn't see a lot of Elestrals, but I saw a lot of back row. It kept me in the game long enough for me able to flip the board around and take the W. We're sitting at 2-1, and we're going into our final round, and I would love to finish 3-1. As has become tradition, we decide to reveal a brand new card for Casual Tuesdays, and that is none other than Larvacell Charged. Super fitting that we're revealing Larvacell this week, by the way, and one of my favorite cards coming to the new set. This new Larvacell is going to be able to search out your Solar Charge or another Larvacell and get it onto the field. It's going to give you another opportunity to turbo into Phosphocell, and maybe, just maybe, there's a new Phosphocell waiting around the corner in the upcoming set Sunstrike. Another reason to tune in every week for Casual Tuesdays is I tend to leak new cards, so stay tuned for this week. Heading into round 4, we are taking on none other than Viper. Now, Viper is a player that I've played against many times, and he's one of the top players in the game, having gotten multiple top cuts. He's an incredible player, so I know that this is going to be a tough one, and honestly, I'm up for the challenge. He starts off with his Toxion, burning me. I go for Astrabbit to start to gain resources and set up for my combo pieces. He's able to ascend into his Likeable off of his Ampup, and this is a huge problem because not only does it have a crazy attack stat, but it can steal cards out of my hand and send them to the underworld. I'm going to be able to Poison-Tipped Arrow, but he has Chains of Prometheus. I'm in big trouble on this one. He stops me there, so I'm forced to use my Guardian of the Light to stop the Lycavolt's attack. I re-enchant my Astrabbit, and that's a theme. I think I end up enchanting Astrabbit like 5 times in this game, and it gets me a lot of stuff, but it gets to be a struggle. I shield his Lycavolt this time. He gets his Quackle out and starts to heal even more, which is really unfortunate for me because like the one advantage to facing Lycavolt is it's kind of expensive, and if he's healing with Quackles, it kind of invalidates my only way to win this one. I'm going to continue to enchant my Astrabbit, and he ascends his Quackle into Lycavolt. So after I shielded it, he gets it out a second time. I Guardian of Light to stop that. So I've been able to hold the Lycavolt at bay. I've had to face it 2 times. I start going for some Thunderstorm plays to make sure that I can get rid of his Lycavolt. I want to clear his back row to open the door for Boombat. I think to myself, hey, I already shielded Lycavolt once. I stopped it attacking a few times. If my Boombat can take it out, I might be able to win this one. So Boombat does get the clear. I get rid of the Lycavolt and I'm feeling really good. However, he ascends into another one that he had at hand, and I think I felt like my stomach just fall out of my body because I'm like, how am I gonna deal with this a 3rd time? That's insane. Another one comes out and he's able to start ripping cards out of my hand, making the things that I have in my hand even weaker than ever before. I do, however, get a Funglo out and then a Bronzaglow out, but because Lycavolt has such a crazy attack stat, I can't hit over it. Even with Bronzaglow sitting at as high as 8 attack, it's still not enough. I swarm with my Funglos, but because my back row had to hold me into the game in the early parts, I'm out of it at this point, and his Poison-Tipped Arrow is going to be able to take out my Bronzaglow. I do have him down to 1 Spirit. This is really close. I think to myself, if I can somehow turbo into a Bronzaglow one more time and attack over a Sparkit, maybe, just maybe, I can deal enough damage, but he's able to continue to pressure my hand. I draw into my Phosphocell. I draw into another Bronzaglow. I'm bricking pretty hard here at this point, and he's going to take the game. A really close one, an epic game altogether, and I'm pretty proud for hanging in there against Likeable for as long as I did, but facing that thing 3 times, man oh man, that is too tough for me. When this deck works, it really works, but it can kind of sometimes struggle to deal enough damage if you can't swarm Phosphocell or Bronzaglow to the field soon enough, and you don't get that combo to put the pressure on early. I had a blast with this one, and I'm excited for next week's Tuesday Casuals, so stay tuned. I'll be throwing down. You can sign up with the link in the description below. It's totally free. Bring a starter deck. I can't wait to see you there.